Arsenal out of the Carabao Cup, 2-0 to Liverpool on the night. A limp performance in the end after a very strong start from Arsenal. A brilliant brace from the wonderful Diogo Jota puts Liverpool through to the final with a chance for them to win a record 9th EFL League Cup, Carabao Cup. I don't care what you want to call it. Thomas Partey got a red card. That's no wins in 4. And 1 goal in 4 now for Arsenal Football Club. Have the wheels slightly come off? When will they get over this mini blip that they find themselves in? But Liverpool, again, just too strong. Just too good. Just too much. Just absolutely too much in the end for Liverpool Football Club. Hit that like and that share button. This is the Football Terrace and the match reaction show. Let's do this.
Absolutely magnificent.
What an you know, a really good game of football that we witnessed tonight. There is no doubt about it. Some really good football at times from Liverpool. It started off and it was absolutely all Arsenal. They were like a rampant dog from the beginning. They were putting it on Liverpool, putting them under pressure. For the first 15 minutes or so, Martinelli was cooking Trent Alexander-Arnold. Cooking him. And you thought, well, Arsenal look up for this. It gave me that same feeling that you got when they played Manchester City. They hit the crossbar after a good save from Kelleher from a free kick. Liverpool looked in trouble. There was a moment where Martinelli sent Van Dijk the other way and it took a last-ditch tackle from Fabinho and you felt, right, something is brewing tonight. Arsenal look great. And then Diogo Jota, I heard the commentator say Liverpool's goal came from nothing. Well, Liverpool weren't in the game, but the goal in itself was brilliant. A wonderful flick around the corner, spread the play out to Jota, who nutmegged Tomiyasu that had a stinker of a night considering how good he's been this season. And he did scuff his shot a little bit. But there was a Man United player that scored a goal like that against Man City once upon a time called Wayne Rooney, where he hit it into the reverse corner, didn't catch it cleanly. But sometimes that sends the goalkeeper slightly fortuitous. But the skill before that deserved a goal. And once Liverpool scored, the tide changed. Arsenal played within themselves. The crowd was settled down. There was no clear-cut chance for the rest of that first half. The second half begins, and we see what I call typical Arsenal this season. First 20 minutes of most games, they are on it. And they came out, Lacazette threw on goal, should be scoring, misses. The one and only proper chance for Arsenal on the night, and he misses. And then Liverpool take over again. And you can see them knocking on that door for the majority of that second half until Diogo Jota, one of the finishes of his Liverpool career, over the top. And I say that because it's a semi-final and it's clutch. Over the top of Ramsdale, 2-0, game, set, and match. And then to add a cherry on top of the icing, on top of the sugar, on top of the Belgian bun. I love a Belgian bun. And they've got cherry and icing on, which is why I mentioned them. Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey. I kept saying Arsenal fans were moaning that he left and left them in trouble. I even heard Alan Smith. Alan Smith was talking about how good Partey's form was before he went off to AFCON. He had one good game. The guy is the pits. He is a clown. That's another red card. I swear Mikel Arteta's team have had about 20 red cards since he's been manager. That might be slightly exaggerating, but just abysmal. Absolutely abysmal from him. Just shocking. And no way should he have been playing tonight. No way should he have been on the bench. The guy landed back in the UK. I'm not too sure what country in Africa he flew back from. But it's insane to play him. He's just played 3 games in a fairly short period of time. Clearly disappointed after his nation collapsed and had an awful tournament. I don't know if they were fancied for it at all because I don't follow it, but they didn't do very well. I saw the timeline ripping into him. To play him was crazy, but he now misses the next game. And this Burnley game now becomes absolutely massive for Arsenal because we're getting to the business end of the season. They don't win. They go into an international break with no win in 5. Right now, it's 1 goal in 4 games. it ain't a good look right now. It legitimately isn't a good look right now. And people can think I'm being hyperbolic. I'm just being real. 110% real, the same I would with any single team. I prayed Arsenal a lot this season. They've definitely improved. The performance was better tonight in terms of I don't think they were as in awe or as scared of Liverpool as I've seen them in recent years in matches, but still not quite enough. And it shows the signings like the Vlahovics are needed. That extra prowess, that extra ability, that extra quality is always going to be needed. We have a super chat here from Aaron, who says, comfortable win in the end for Liverpool today. Jota is a top class, really stepped up today. Never thought Arsenal could beat us over two legs. Arteta more to blame for Partey than himself. I don't know what Gunners are going to say about that. It'll be interesting to speak to them. We're going to get Jess on soon, EGAL on soon, panel coming later as well, with quite a few people. I know people are starting to pull up backstage as well. Dom Husim's going to be here, Zayn Ram, and all that jazz. Let's do some of your super chats because obviously I don't want to miss them. Kieran here, long-time Terrace follower, says to all the Arsenal fans who try and wind up Liverpool, enjoy the only comp you get to lift the top four and Europa spots race. You'll never walk alone, as what's said there. What happened when 5 starters haven't had a training session? We was knackered after 30 minutes. Hamza here, of course, blaming the fact that 5 of their starters tonight didn't have training and didn't play, and fitness levels for Arsenal's defeat in the semi-final. Arsenal just aren't there. As a Chelsea fan, I do see the worrying signs, but we should be good. Arsenal need a CM and a striker and a centre-back. I think Ben White and Gabriel will be good. They're both still very young and raw, though, and they're learning their game. Central midfielder, absolutely. You know, Lokonga did his absolute best tonight. I felt he was a little bit negative at times when he could have played some balls forward, but he's young as well. They need that experience. Partey and Xhaka are not it. They are not it for any reason you can throw out there. They're not it. Probably barring ability with Partey, but we all know ability counts for nothing if you don't fucking perform. Shocking. They need to spend some money there. And yeah, of course they need a striker because Lacazette, he had that nice little spell when he came back in the team for Aubameyang. But, you know, they always say cream always rises to the top. I don't know what the expression is for something that always sinks back down to its level. He is just not an elite Premier League striker. It's as simple as that. And that chance he missed today, Jota ain't missing it. Salah ain't missing it. Vlahovic ain't missing it. And this guy did. Can you tell Jota I love him? Do you want me to text Jota now and tell him he's great? Should I do it? He's the only footballer I know. That's why I like it when he does stuff. I'll text him now if he ain't blocked me. He hasn't blocked me. I don't know why he would. Well done tonight. My viewers, I'll say viewers. It makes it sound like I've got lots of people watching. My viewers said they love you. I have sent that to him. I'm not going to block it. You can't see his number. There it is. It's sent. It's sent. It's sent. It's done. That's to him. There you go. I did that for you. Jota, I don't know what that means. The Slayer? The Slater? I don't know what that's meant to say. Maybe I'm being stupid. Is that the Slaughter? The Slaughter. Okay, I got it. Diago is simply world class. I see bits of Owen, Suarez, Torres, and Suarez again in him. 2 Suarez is there. Let's win the cup is what Daniel's got to say. And look, you've got a very good chance of winning it. You've got a very good chance up against Chelsea with the form they're in right now. Let's have a little look here. I know there's some more comments that have come through. Finally opened a super. They've opened super chats in Saudi. Pleasure to have you. I know you've probably been watching, but thank you for the super chat, my brother. Really appreciate that, my guy. Postponing that Spurs game backfired massively, is what Joshua Jack has got to say. I don't know if it was that. They're not through. If it was a plan, and the plan ain't worked, but we'll see. Laka, terrible, didn't take his chance, playing far too deep, lackluster in the midfield. No blame on Arteta. He did what he could with the squad he had. We have to respond with transfers. Big game Sunday is what's been said there. I think most people would agree with a lot of what's been said there. With this result, Arsenal will loan out the entire first team and declare this season null in void. Would love to hear Arsenal excuses today. Plus, everyone was so quick to jump and criticize Trent. Man got an assist for both goals and was so good defensively for most of the game. Saka was in Robbo's pocket. Yeah, the fullbacks for Liverpool tonight were out of this world. Both of them were. And what was really great about Trent Alexander-Arnold's performance tonight, and I do praise him when he does brilliantly. And by the way, when people tweet, right, you got to slow down when responding. I said Trent in the first 15 minutes was getting cooked. I was even thinking of mocking up a picture of like Trent's face on baked beans and putting on some toast because Martinelli looked like he had him. And then Trent, for the majority of the remainder of the game, stopped him. He wasn't able to have those marauding runs, and then he was able to attack. And I think it was more Trent's attacking prowess kind of stopped Martinelli from attacking so much because we know how good Trent is, and he was brilliant. And some of his crossing tonight, almost as good as David Beckham. And that's me being very complimentary because no one's ever going to be better than my Becks. Same school, same hospital, same good looks. I blame Edu for not signing a midfielder, is what Hamza's got to say. 13th red card for Arsenal since Arteta took the reign. That is a problem. That is a real problem. That really, really is. Sorry, 14, I'm being told. I'm being told 14. People backstage are going like this to me. 14. Like 4 of you did it. Didn't Liverpool not train either for the game at home too? Lol. A lot of them came back from multi false P's the day or 2 days before. Liverpool didn't have their gunman. Arsenal had theirs, is what selection says here. Arteta's the biggest clown in Arsenal history. Why are you all kind to him? Hair gel. I don't get that, but okay. He speaks well after games. He random whistles on the sidelines. Lol, Arsenal in the mud. This is from a Spurs fan. It's Josh King from the group chat. How's it going, bruv? He says they do it to themselves, celebrating a 2-1 loss against the team we beat every season, bottling the North London derby, etc. They ain't it. Officially a terrorist member for 13 months. Where are all the people who said Liverpool only Mana and Salah FC? 2 games, 2 wins. This is true. Terry, what qualifications does Arteta have other than being a cone man for Pep? Arsenal fans overhype this manager. He ain't that good, is what's been said here. Now, look, we're going to bring a few callers out before the panel. I know the panel are desperate to come out. I've got a few callers to do first here. I'm going to get Jess on the show to come and have her say. Keep them super chats coming to us, people. We will star them and get them up a little bit later if we miss any, so don't worry about that. Jess is out, then EGAL's out, then Brand's out, then it's the panel. Make sure you stay with the chat. It's going to be a big night tonight, I feel. Let's do it. Welcome back to the show, Jess. Yeah, give me your thoughts on that game, that performance, and of course the
end. I kind of look at the responses that I've seen, like from the super chats, and I find them a little like, okay. I think we were lackluster today, but I think you could easily say that that might be because we haven't trained and we actually did have injuries. And so we don't have a midfield, and you could kind of see it. And Liverpool just really deserved to win that game because they were just better and we just didn't have any answers for it. And so I think the only reason why this hurts a little bit more is just because now Thomas Partey is out of the Burnley match. But I told you before the game that I thought going out of the semifinals of the Carabao Cup for me is not devastating if we don't get smacked, and we didn't. The only thing is that we still keep getting these red cards, so it's kind of like, okay, well, now what? And yes, Sunday's game is important, but I think we'll beat Burnley. You know, Burnley are not really Liverpool, so famous last words, I think we'll beat Burnley. But, you know, I find the response to this a little bit over the top because it's like 1 minute people are Arteta in and the next minute they're Arteta out. And it's just kind of like, so if he beats Burnley and we win our next couple of games, then you're going to flip back to Arteta in. Like, what is it? We didn't have a midfield. We had Sambi. ESR clearly had just came back. Tomiyasu, I saw people saying horrible things about Tomiyasu. He's clearly rusty. Like, it's obvious. And so we were outplayed by a better team, well played to Liverpool. But I just find the response, like, of course, be upset because we're going to go trophyless again this season. And this was a good opportunity to win silverware. And now we're just basically fighting for Europe. But I find the response just a little bit strange. Like, you guys didn't think we were going to struggle like at all. Like, Liverpool are a really good team. They don't have Salah and Mane, but even without them, they definitely were stronger than us. And once they figured out Martinelli and they started double teaming him, and we were just kicking it over the top to Saka, we're pretty much dead. So I guess like my last point on this is just we knew we needed a striker and a couple midfielders before the season started. That has always been kind of the bridge between us and the teams that are better than us. And we're just not there yet. So this like desperation to try to force us into, the Liverpool conversation, Chelsea, Man City, like we're better than everybody. Like just, we're not. Like we need to just keep up on our own pace. Like the reason why we're always so flip-floppy is because we're not realistic about where we are. Got 2 kids up front and old man Lacazette. Relax, but Adu needs to get his ass in the transfer window. That's for sure, because he definitely made a mistake this summer saying that we could just go with Xhaka and Thomas Partey. That has backfired on us tenfold. Every week, they're either injured or getting red cards or out with CV. So that is a mistake, and that lies on Adu. So he's not going to be able to get away with it. I don't think they kind of almost got away with it because the Xhaka red card, but then we were able to postpone the North London derby. The reason why we lost this game today is because we weren't prepared because we didn't have midfielders. Had we had midfielders, I think we would have been fine. So he needs to bring in a midfielder. We need to beat Burnley, and we need to see at least a midfielder and somebody else come in, or else we're going to be really scraping to get top 6. Like it's really that tight. Like stop thinking about top 4. Top 6 is looking a little like as well, so I'm disappointed, but we just have to beat Burnley. Like, and all the Spurs fans saying we're just not it and this and that. You went out of this competition in the same leg just because you guys beat Leicester. You didn't win the North London derby, so just relax. Beat us in the North London derby, and then you can say that we're not it, because right now you ain't it either.
There we go. Jess, I know you got to shoot, but thank you very much for coming on and having your say. I really appreciate it.
Bye.
See you on BV tomorrow. Take care, Jay. Thank you very much indeed. EGAL on the show next. Panel on its way soon, so stay with us. Smash that like button. Let's get this past 1,000 likes while we're live, and I will give you a clue for the secret phrase, a massive clue. If we hit 1,000 likes, you'll get it. And I think someone will guess. I think someone will guess it and win the PlayStation 5 tonight on your super chat. So if you're super chatting in, keep guessing. You don't want to miss out on it. It's time for EGAL now, people. Welcome back to the show, mate. Out of the cup, no trophies this year. Since your famous Liverpool Tottenham come outside rant, you've played 4 games. You've won none, scored 1, and only kept 1 clean sheet. Are you regretting getting so giddy or what?
You can get ahead of yourself sometimes. I still stand by it. I still think we're going to finish above Tottenham, but that's besides the point. Today, we were terrible. Today just shows how bad our midfield is, and like what we needed to do, in my opinion, was maybe go away from trying to. 1 second. We needed to go away from what was a terrible decision in trying to play Odegaard, Smith Rowe, and Lokonga together, and maybe go with a back 3, because if we would have had more defenders in that position, we would then be able to defend more, and in that situation, you would have maybe, because the way we played in the first leg, even though we were down to 10 men, we were more solid than we were today, you could say, and maybe it was because we were down to 10 men. But I'm thinking, we have such a lack of depth in that midfield position that I would find any other form of solution, maybe even play Ben White. But I'm just thinking too much about what we're going to do going forward now that Partey got the red card. Partey getting the red card added insult to injury. The game was done. We lost 2-0. We were going to lose. And at that point, Partey getting injured now affects us for the next few games, because Xhaka's out, Partey's out. We don't sign a midfielder. We're screwed. We're literally screwed. I'm worried we're going to lose to Burnley because of our lack of midfield depth. And it just goes to show of a lack of preparation from the beginning of the season. And if you want to banter me and banter whatever you want to banter, go ahead. We're out of a Carabao Cup semi-final. No disrespect to Liverpool. They outplayed us for majority of the game, but the reason why they outplayed us is because of our midfield. If we have the amount of depth that we have in our attacking options when it comes to Saka, Smith Rowe, and Martinelli and these guys in our midfield, we'd be able to control more games. We just might be able not to score. But right now, we'll get into good attacking positions, but the moment we lose the ball, it's a knife through butter. You get right through us. And everyone who wants to laugh, you can laugh right ahead. We're out of the Carabao Cup. We're out of the FA Cup. And if Arteta doesn't get top 4, in my opinion, he's out of a job. That's the reality of the situation for me. I know it's unrealistic for some people to say, oh, you should get top 4. But if we get Arthur and we possibly get in Vlahovic, hopefully Vlahovic wasn't even watching this game. Because if he was watching this game, he probably won't want to join. That's how bad this game was. But hey, my personal opinion, we need that midfielder. We need that striker. If we can get both of them in by the end of this window, we still have hopes to get our top 4. And even without them, we need Xhaka and Partey back in this team, because without Xhaka and Partey, the rest of our midfield is terrible. Lokonga is not better than Guendouzi. I'm sorry, what is that? Let me just shut this. Sorry about that. But yeah, it's just a headache, Terry. Honestly, it's a headache. And when it comes to me jumping ahead, yes, I might have jumped ahead. But at the end of the day, I still believe this Arsenal team has what it takes to come at the end of the season and compete and get top 4.
No, and I understand that, and I only really call you on it because I know that. I know the history of Arsenal in the last 20 years. I know the history of Man United in the last 9 years, and neither of our teams, including Tottenham, have any staying power when it comes to runs of form. So you guys now going 4 games without a victory, losing 3 of them. You know, it's just where Arsenal are. It's where, again, I'm not throwing stones. I'm in a glass house myself, but it's just speaking out the truth. And this is what happens when you've got young squads or inexperienced managers, or, you know, and everything else that's going on. And I just think for some Arsenal fans, there was this element 3 weeks ago of look at it. It's almost like we've arrived. And I feel sorry for some gooners that are like, guys, can we just take our time with this? Excuse the pun. Do you know what I mean? And just wait a little bit before getting too carried away. But Gal, listen, bro, I appreciate you coming on.
We're one more loss away from full out chaos in the fan base again. If we lose to Burnley, full out chaos is going to begin. So hopefully we can just shore up and get a result.
But you know, if you fail to win 5 games on the bounce, your Arsenal Football Club, hell should break loose. Like Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, City. If you don't win any of 5 games on the bounce for any reason, hell should break loose. Our clubs are the biggest spenders in the world, probably outside of PSG, Barca, and Real Madrid. It's inexcusable. The only time it would be an excuse is if you were away at all those teams I've just mentioned. Other than that, our team should never go 5 games without winning. So it's not about getting on Arteta. It's the facts. You know, we have to hold our clubs to a very high standard because of who our clubs are, mate. So there will be hell, and I totally get it. Gal, listen, brother, I really appreciate you coming on, having your say. Thank you very much, bro. Speak to you soon. Take care. Gal's at work, so we ain't on the panel tonight. Panel coming in just a moment. It's a big panel tonight. Going to bring them all out. Don Husim's coming out first by himself, though, because he's doing something right now that's making me die. Xhaka and Partey are both going to miss the North London derby now. No, is the North London derby not being played in like April? I don't think that's going to be played next, bro. AFC wish they had their outcast Pepe, who is balling at AFCON. You'll never walk alone, LFC. Having a party, TTTT, quarantining with CV. Omar, my bro, hope you get well soon. Laddie says, remember what I said about the dreams evaporating before our eyes of Arsenal fans. It is a spectacular watching reality hit them like a ton of bricks. Get Vlahovic, I'll get the popcorn. Are you going to postpone again, Arsenal, is what's been said here by SB CFC. And just mad about these postponements. Haven't we done teams that much of a favour? I find it hilarious that the 10-men draw away got Arsenal fans' hopes up for them only to get pounded at their backyard by our C team attack. That is from 40-year-old Virgil. Hope you're well, mate. Long time no see on the terrace, my friend. And Hamid here says, I hate the big Arsenal fan account on Twitter. That's why they be as rational as why can't they be as rational as Jess? They keep fueling the rest of the fan base with these conspiracy theories about postponements. I'm glad we won. Yeah, look, and I will say this about Jess. Like, Jess jumped into a stream only a few weeks ago when EGAL was calling out other fans and how Arsenal were going to do this and do that. And she's like, yo, don't associate that with me because I'm not saying it. So, that's why I don't ever really push too hard because she's very level-headed with it. But panel time now, people. But Don Husim's coming out first, then the rest of the boys. Smash that like button. This is going to be fun. Let's do it.
Hi, everyone. See this pack right here I'm gonna smoke? There are so many packs. When I light up this cigar, I'm lighting up the Arsenal pack because of all the bullshit we went through last week. I'm lighting up this pack because of all the hate Trent Alexander-Arnold gets. Guess what? He ran the show today from right back. Put your right backs on the table. Not one person can do anything with it. And Arsenal Football Club. So many excuses. So many conspiracies. Let's just have fun together. Oh, it tastes amazing, man. Cuban cigar, vanilla, delicious. You know what's more delicious? Arsenal fans' tears. That's what I find so much more delicious than this lovely cigar. Ooh, the smell, vanilla as well. Cuban cigar, beautiful stuff. Beautiful. Let me relight it. Let me relight.
There we go. We're going to bring the rest of the boys out now. We've got Ram with us. We've got Brands with us now. We've got Dylan. We've got Tom. We've got Mo. We've got Zane here as well. Evening all. Evening all. We've spoken a lot of Arsenal. We have spoken a lot of Arsenal so far on the show. I want to speak a little bit of Liverpool. Tom, give me your thoughts, mate.
Boss, class, sick. I don't need any more words. Rocked up at the Emirates. When you could argue that Arsenal should have been the team that should be, on the front foot, really taking it to a Liverpool team without its two best players, and we Scourges. Tomiyasu, I don't care if he hasn't played for a couple of weeks. He got rings round tonight. £50 million Ben White. I've never seen anything like it. He's got done about 3 times by Diogo Jota. Diogo Jota is immense. Let's just get that out of the way first of all. Easily top 5 attacker in the league. I don't think anyone can disagree with that. As an attacker, I don't think there's many, but he just gives me so many Luis Suarez player vibes. We don't talk about the person, the player. He was so good tonight. His touch, his movement, everything was perfect. Trent ran the game from right back. It's actually, people become desensitized to how good he is. No right back should be running games the way Trent does. When he wants us to be quick, we be quick. When he wants us to slow it down, we slow it down. That's what Trent does. That's what KDB gets credit about. That's what Jorginho was getting praise about because he runs games. Trent does it from right back. So hard to do. Robertson, brilliant. Firmino, I thought was quite good today. I thought Curtis Jones was exceptional today. Up and down that left-hand side. Carrying the ball so well. His decision-making needs to improve, but he's 21. That's always going to come. I thought the only dodgy performance today was Matip, and Klopp done it perfectly. He got him off when we were 1-0 up at half-time, when we needed to shore it up at the back. Konate came on and was foolproof. But Arsenal, I was told this was an Arsenal that are here now, top 4. They can compete. This is an Arsenal team that are here. And at their home ground, they've just come off a brilliant performance against us with 10 men. They just look like school children. There is no excuse for what Thomas Partey done tonight. That is embarrassing on its own. They chartered a private plane to fly him back from AFCON midday today, just for him to go get sent off 9 hours later and miss the next game anyway.
I just want to say as well, people, I just want to say as well, Jota has just messaged me back. He didn't say too much. I just said, well done tonight. My viewers said they love you. And he just responded with like an emoji and a little thank you thing there. That is from the man himself, Diogo Jota tonight, messaging the Terrace Live. Tom, I hear on that, mate. Like, I want to speak to Brandon quick. Obviously, I know Brandon, you've got a love-hate relationship. Bro, there was a mugshot we saw this week that looks pretty much like what you're saying right now. You just haven't got blonde hair. Listen, bro, give me your thoughts, because like EGAL and Jess kind of made excuses midfield, players away. Give me your take on what went wrong for Arsenal tonight.
Mikel Arteta, Edu, complete incompetence and neglect. That's what that is. We're 20 days into a transfer window, Terry. We still have not signed the players that we require in the required positions that we clearly are lacking in. Midfield. Liverpool absolutely ran that midfield tonight. Absolutely ran that midfield. Why have we not got a midfielder in? That's down to Mikel Arteta. That's down to Edu and the incompetence of them too. Not bringing in the players. Loaning out players and not bringing in replacements. That performance at Anfield with 10 men. What was the point? What was the point for us to just go and just lay down like that at home? Do you know what I mean? And this is a Liverpool team without Salah and without Mane, by the way. So this isn't even the strongest Liverpool team that they could throw out. And it looked easy for Liverpool. The only player who did not deserve to be on the losing side tonight was Gabriel Martinelli. The rest of them, nah. And I'm sorry, right, but decision-making as well, Terry. We're playing against a very good Liverpool side. You don't get many chances against Liverpool. There was a couple of times where we get into decent areas in the final third and the decision-making let us down. I can pick out one in particular moment when Saka cuts the ball back to Martin Odegaard. Just shoot, man. Why are you trying to do this Fabregas bullshit? You're not Fabregas. Yeah? Why are you trying to do all this intricate... just shoot. It's not like, do you know what I mean? Like, Liverpool had their second choice goalkeeper in goal today. How many times did we test him? Not once. Lacazette blazing it over the bar like a clown. And Tomiyasu, I'm sorry to say it, Arsenal fans, but there's a few home truths coming tonight. He is just a Japanese Hector Bellerin with no pace and a little bit of a better footballing brain. That is it. Because the guy... I've watched him for 4 months at Arsenal, and Arsenal fans get giddy over this guy. But the amount of times that I've watched this guy get absolutely spun by players, twice tonight by Diego Jota, right? He was nowhere to be seen for that second goal, but Arsenal get giddy over him because, oh, it's Tommy. Oh, you're making friends, Tommy. Oh, do you want your fruit shoot after the game, Tommy? Bollocks, mate. I'm sorry, but it's not good enough. Arsenal fans coming into this season said, it's okay. We got no European football. We're only playing one game a week. It gives us a great chance to get in the top 4. Okay. We're just about in the top 4, and even that's in the balance. And the only reason that we are just about in the top 4 is because we had the game cancelled on Sunday. Well done, Arsenal, right? But we're out of both domestic cups now. Both domestic cups, both chances of winning a trophy, which, I'm sorry, but if you're Arsenal Football Club, I don't care who the manager is, I don't care who the players are, you have to be fighting for trophies every single season. We're not in Europe, there is no excuse. And the only thing that I can point out is the complete incompetence of Mikel Arteta and this board for not getting players in the required positions when we needed them. We actually genuinely thought Thomas Partey coming back from AFCON was going to save our asses. Do you know what I mean? Like, honestly, it's a joke. And I'm fed up with talking about the same crap every single... How many times do we go into a season unprepared?
Do you know what? I hear you, and I want to ask these questions out there to the panel and to yourself, because we've got to cover both teams tonight.
Terry, can you just please, before you ask the question, can you please just put me full screen? I need to speak to the... I need to speak, Terry. You don't understand how much I need to speak right now. Just want to say to all the Arsenal fans, I need energy. I can't do this anymore. No one gives a fuck about Edu. No one gives a fuck about Arteta. No one gives a fuck. The reason you lost today is because you're Liverpool's side chick. This is just what happens. This energy was not there last week. Where was this energy when you drew 0-0 and won the World Cup against us? my incredible Stephen A. Smith, as he says, we're all here to tell you, we don't care. No one cares. You think anyone sat here trying to listen about Edu in a fucking Carabao Cup semi-final? You just lost at home, got dominated by fucking Quaveen Kelleher, Curtis Jones, and fucking Kate Gordon. You think anyone gives a fuck about fucking Edu? No one cares. No one cares. Come in here and bring energy, bro. Where was this energy last week? Where was this energy? You knew you still had a second leg. Liverpool pulled up today with the McDonald's kit, and we were hungry. And we showed that hunger on the football pitch. And now I told the Chelsea fans, see you at Wembley. I said it last week and I say it again. I'm going to see them at Wembley. Arsenal are not a serious club. Where was this energy last week? 0-0 draw at Anfield. All Arsenal fans came in here. Oh, Arsenal, look at us. Greatest club in the world. We got a 0-0 draw at Anfield with 10 men. Yay, let's all wank in a sock. What happened this week? Suddenly everyone's coming in here. Edu, Arteta. You knew Edu was your director last week. You knew Arteta was your manager. So energy is beautiful. The one fan base that keeps changing that energy is Arsenal fans. Keep the same energy. Give me energy. I want when Terry puts you on this little screen right here, bring energy. Speak with energy. Don't come in here like, oh, Arteta, Edu, sub stories. I was about to cry, bro. No one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck.
I've said from day dot about Arteta and Edu. I've said from day dot, I don't want them fucking clowns here. From day dot.
Were they not there last week?
Even when we drew at Anfield last week, I said, yes, great result, considering the circumstances with us having to play with 10 men. But there is a second leg. Liverpool are not the type of team who, you can just turn up at a second leg and think, oh, we're at home, we'll win this. Do you know what I mean? So
I hear
it's
you on that.
And Arsenal fans will come on here, and if they're real, they'll talk about Mikel Arteta and Edu and the incompetence of this board. But no, too many fans are wrapped around this guy's, oh, he's got great hair. He's the best looking Spaniard we know. Fuck that. I want my team to win. None of this rolling over at home. Bullshit. And do you know what, Terry? I'm saying it here and now. I don't think we'll beat Burnley at the weekend. I'm saying it now.
It's a big claim. Gunnar Express is here with us. What are you saying, mate?
Yeah, it was good, Terry. I won't be able to stay for long. But just on the game, I don't really know what I need to say that Brandon hasn't already said. The performance was abysmal. Every player, bar Martinelli, was shocking. They all need to hold their heads in shame. Ben White and the defenders can celebrate the way they did drawing at Anfield. So I hope that they have the same energy for losing at the Emirates, because it's poor. Ben White, again, was shocking. He doesn't get enough stick. He gets all the credit, but not enough stick from the Arsenal fans. He always somehow gets away with it. And today, he was absolutely dire. And I've been speaking about this guy since he signed. Tomiyasu, I give him a little bit of credit, not credit, but leniency, simply because he's come back from injury and he hasn't trained. But if he puts in another performance like that, then there has to be questions asked. Ramsdale, I don't know whether he wasn't connected to the Wi-Fi for the first goal, but he was lagging. So I don't know what's going on, really. Arteta, I've said this before, is not consistent enough. We play very well, but then when we go on our dips, we're absolutely awful. Like, it's some of the worst football I've actually ever seen as an Arsenal fan when we have poor games with Arteta. So yeah, it is what it is, man. Like, Husam, I see you with the energy with FSG, but you're not talking about it today. You're not talking about Henderson being old, but you were last week. So it's the same way, bro. But look,
hey, Curtis Jones started and we won. Before. Mystic Husam strikes again.
No, that's fair. That's fair, bro. But at the end of the day, fair play to Liverpool. I'm backing you to win the game in the final, because I don't like Chelsea. So I hope you win that game.
What you having your face, bro? Show your camera. You're crying, bro. You're crying now after all that big chat last week, bro. I ain't forgotten, bro. Yeah, come on. You running, bro. You're running now, bro.
Zayn, I'm doing stuff, bro. Otherwise, I'd show my face in it. Like, if you want to see my face, bro, go check out my YouTube channel. It's cool, bro. Shameless plug right there. But yeah, as I said, man, like, Liverpool deserve the win. What can I say? You've got a very good team. I'm not gonna. I said this before the game even started. You were the favourites today, and you won. So, like, it is what it is. You were the better team. We played awful. And I'm not happy with it. You know what I mean? The performance wasn't good enough. The substitutes were abysmal. Partey, I don't even know what he was doing. I don't know what's like. He's had the worst few days any footballer can have. But yeah, man, as I said, Terry, I have to shoot off, but I really appreciate you having me on,
worries,
bro.
Student Express. Top man, thank you. I'm going to speak to Dill and Mo in a minute. More about Arsenal to come. I want to ask some questions because I'm still. No, I've got to ask it now. I want to speak Liverpool, but I need to speak. This is bugging me here. 4 games, Dill, no win, 1 goal. Yes, you've had some problems with the squad, but at the same time, every gooner that's been on this channel criticizing Chelsea in the last few days has said that the injuries can't be the only excuse. You know, there could be player issues, the manager getting tactics wrongs. Everybody says that about every other team. And all I've heard tonight from most gooners or people in the comments, been checking out a few other people's tweets and whatever, it's, if we had this, if we had that. Why is nobody really focusing on the manager at all? Or I'm not personally blaming him. I want to know what you think. Is Arteta culpable for going 4 games on the bounce now without a win?
Bro, he's been culpable for 2 years. You know my opinions and thoughts on him. Today, obviously, just tactically naive. I think Liverpool did well, that first 10, 15 minutes to withstand the pressure. And, we've seen that in the past where we've dominated maybe 10 and then lapse off and completely capitulate. And that's exactly what happened again. The manager takes no blame at this club. The players take no blame at this club. And it just gets passed on to everyone else. So it's unbelievable, to be honest, mate. I just can't understand the mentality of some people, like last week in the circumstances to go down to 10 men to hold a 0-0. It was a good performance in the circumstances, but we still have a job to do in the second. So the fans that were getting gassed are completely delusional. I got my man dancing down here for the last half an hour. I don't know why you're dancing, bro. Like, Liverpool beat everyone. Arsenal lose to everyone. It's
Mate,
not a shock.
I just love the feeling of getting to a final. That I forgot how good it felt getting to a final. It's
You guys get
so
to finals all the
good.
time. You won the UCL 2 years ago.
What do you know about
after what I had to go through
Nothing.
last season with Reece Williams and Nat Phillips at the back? I'm taking every small little win in finals I can take. I've never felt this happy about the Carabao Cup in my life.
Liverpool fans should get gas. They're in a final. Yeah. Hopefully they win. I don't hate Liverpool at all, so good on him. But look, my stance on the manager, he needs to go. Not good enough, and just the naivety of the board, the ownership, and the manager. It's just, and the thing is, we're playing with kids. Our squad is kids, and anyone that is a senior player, Xhaka liability, Partey liability today, Gabriel, who's classified as a leader, got a red card a couple of weeks ago. Another, it's just constant liabilities. Lacazette is a striker, but plays like a CDM. It's the team's in shambles, honestly. And people need to wake up and smell the roses, honestly.
What are you saying, Mo? Obviously, you're kind of neutral to this. What's your take on tonight? What was the difference between the two teams? Not just 2 goals, but why were Liverpool able to do that at Anfield, at the Emirates, in your opinion?
I have 2 points I want to speak about. Number one is that every Arsenal fan were giving us headache about how young their team are and how good their team are and all this stuff. And now everybody's coming with this excuse. And I'm not, you know me, I don't banter anybody. I'm not. Everybody was talking about how young their team are and how great they are. And now it showed that they are not actually. Still, there is a long way ahead of them to be an elite club. Number 2 is that what we saw today in the game is that a difference between an elite manager that can utilize the players he has and the difference between the guy that just puts everybody in. He has a plan. Yes, Arteta has a plan. We can see it. Put the ball to the wingers. They're fast, quick. But if the other manager can control these wingers, there is no plan, which is what we saw after 10 minutes today. Liverpool completely dominated everything in the game when they doubled up on the 2 wingers. Saka was not there in the first half. Martinelli was there in the first 10 minutes, but then Klopp from the sideline saw it, dealt with it, done deal, move on, let's get a goal. And even they control. If you look at everything, after they scored Liverpool, they still controlled the game. Arsenal did not bounce back, and that's on the manager. Yes, the players are maybe in fitness, as they say, they haven't practiced and all the stuff. However, you can utilize the guy. I'm not talking about excuses or not excuses. What I'm saying is that Jurgen Klopp today had 3 guys that do not play regularly, and he still played. Firmino hasn't been featuring this season regularly. The guy on the right side, the kid that I can't remember his name, Gordon, has not. I haven't seen the kid before ever in my life, right? And Curtis Jones, who I thought he had a brilliant game. So that's the difference between Jurgen Klopp and Mikel Arteta. That's the difference between Thomas Tuchel, Pep, and Conte and other managers. You know that. Everybody knows that. So that's the difference between the teams today. Someone utilized the player, someone didn't. The other thing is that every Arsenal fan who's telling me Edu and all this stuff, Arsenal have signed a center back for 50 million, a right back, one midfielder that won La Liga and reached Champions League final, Thomas Partey, who was supposedly one of the best defensive midfielders we have seen in La Liga over the past 2-3 seasons, and they signed him. They signed Lokonga, who is in Belgium. He was really good for 20 millions. They chose to keep Saka. They chose to keep Nenny, and that's the deal between the manager and the hierarchy in the club. So that was the plan. And they chose these kids. They chose to give Aubameyang the big contract. And every Arsenal fan cried when Aubameyang did not sign that contract until the guy signed the contract. So they have the tools. They are young tools, but they couldn't utilize them. They need a new manager? Maybe yes. If they want to wait, they have to wait, but do not expect trophies in the coming future, in the soon future. You need to wait for these kids to ripe and be good enough with this manager. Otherwise, if you want success today, get a different play, get a ready player today and get a ready manager today.
Big words. Like Bran, what are you saying to that? Because that's all on your head.
I kind of disagree a little bit. I think where we're lacking, Terry, is okay, we spent 150 million pound in the summer, but that 150 million pound hasn't covered all positions that we needed to cover. Do you know what I mean? And it's not like we can use the excuse of...
I'm sorry, Brendan, before you move on, can you point these positions? Because I pointed positions. I said you wanted a right back, you signed a right back. You wanted a center back, and you did sign a center back. You wanted a defensive midfielder. You signed 2 over the last 2 seasons. You wanted a striker. You signed a 60 million euro striker from Borussia Dortmund 3 seasons ago. He got you to something good. Where are you lacking?
In midfield. We're definitely... We Arsenal fans have known for years we're lacking in midfield. Right, I know he offered Granit Xhaka the new contract and that, yeah, but we still needed another midfielder. Look,
Brendan,
Lokonga,
I'm sorry, you signed people over the 2 seasons. You signed good players.
Lokonga coming in to Arsenal should not be playing as much game time as what he is playing. He's a young man. He's a young talent. He shouldn't be playing as much as what he is, and that's where the incompetence is. Because we spent money in the summer. But we still need more money being spent on the squad now. And we're 20 days into a transfer window. We're allowing players to leave on loan. I think 4 now. And where are the replacements? And then we're wondering why we're thin on the ground with players. It is just ridiculous. I don't understand. We're supposed to be not only a football club, but a well-run business. How can you sell 4 of your assets as a business and not replace them?
I think what it comes down to as well, this is one of those things I speak about in football a lot. Spending money isn't the important bit. It's spending it wisely. I think he sort of signed a lot of good players in the summer, but there's still so many individuals in this squad. And I think what all fan bases have a habit of doing, I know I've been guilty of this as a United fan, is you kind of elevate certain players, and it's happened with the youngsters. Like I think Saka and Smith Rowe and Martinelli are excellent. I think they're so talented. But young players, every now and then you get some 18, 19-year-old that just starts, you get a Wayne Rooney or you get a Haaland. These come along once in a generation where they straight away, they are just at it and they never stop. Look at Harry Kane, who's been prolific in the Premier League. Didn't really start scoring into these early 20s. Like he's a formative years. He wasn't even in the Premier League. And they've got these kids, and they went for that run of games of 4 or 5 games where they're all scoring goals. It was looking nice. They've now gone 4 games with just one of them picking up a goal. I think it's a case of being more realistic with the overall quality and experience of this squad, as opposed to just looking at this. I mean, I think most of the signings this summer were pretty good. But look, it's certainly going to be an interesting one. I want to talk Liverpool for a bit as well, though, gents.
Finally.
Rather than, we review the game, like you can do that. I want to speak about Trent Alexander-Arnold because, of course, he gets a lot of stick. He gets a lot of flack because he is one of the best right backs in the world. He's one of the best in the Premier League, and maybe, as many Liverpool fans claim, one of the best ever. By the time he finishes. But tonight, I think we saw the best of him tonight because he was struggling in the opening 15 minutes. but he didn't allow that to make him shrink. And I think that mental element of Trent Alexander-Arnold tonight impressed me even more than his crossing, impressed me even more than his ability on the ball and his defensive display after that was the fact he was able to turn it around. You often see players mess up, make mistakes, get taken on a little bit in the, I think someone said statistically he wasn't taken on, but we all saw that Martinelli looked like he was going to have one of them nights tonight. And he turned it round. I want to speak to, obviously, the Liverpool fans on this, but like Ram, how good in your view was he tonight and it's been this season?
Look, I just want to quickly say, I've been very patient with a lot of Arsenal fans, specifically not the ones on this panel. I think they're okay. But certain Arsenal fans, the last week, I've had a lot of patience with you. I gave you the chance to let you talk your nonsense, yeah? Like to talk about how we won the game at Anfield. We got the advantage. That's what I heard. I heard it the whole time. We got the advantage. You're coming to the Emirates. It's a cauldron. You're gonna get intimidated by a fan base. Your fan base is a joke. It's an absolute joke. I heard my fans, the Liverpool fans, the fields of Anfield Road, allez. I heard all that. And your Arsenal fan base is a joke. It's an absolute joke. Your atmosphere. What atmosphere? I heard nothing. Nothing. And the fact that you have the audacity to say that we were scared of you, mate, you let in the Portuguese Michael Owen school you. The last time a player for Liverpool Football Club scored 2 goals, that meant a lot. Michael Owen and Diogo Jota. I have been hearing people saying Suarez, Torres, that's great. He is the Portuguese Michael Owen. He plays like it. He's clinical. He's great. He's our player. You don't have none of that. You have none of those players. You know what I'm saying? Aubameyang, what's he doing? Doing like a madness at AFCON, not even turning up for his country, not even turning up for your football club. What is he? What is he? Like literally, Arsenal fans, the whole week, I've been hearing a lot of nonsense about we're going to smash you. We're going to smash you. You bottled it. The fundamentals of it all. You bottled it. Your academy bottled it. Saka bottled it. Smith Rowe bottled it. Curtis Jones had some balls. He had some balls in this game and he controlled the game. That's our academy. Trent Alexander-Arnold. One of the best players in the world. Not right backs, the best players in the world. Can cross the ball. Can switch it 40 yards. And he can defend. That is our academy right there. And you wish you had a player like Trent Alexander-Arnold. Trent Alexander-Arnold is a generational talent. He is technically outstanding. That's all I have to say about Trent Alexander-Arnold. He is one of the best players in the world.
Before we move on to the Liverpool fans, I want to say something today because I kind of like talked about Alexander-Arnold, but today something that I've seen from Alexander-Arnold that I have not seen before, and every Liverpool fan can see that. We saw Trent Alexander-Arnold today, the midfielder. He was behind Smith Rowe, behind Odegaard, in the middle of the field a lot of times. And that's something that is, we all talk about Alexander-Arnold from the side, crossing and all the stuff and all the passing. But the guy today, when he was narrow behind the 2 attacking midfielders of Arsenal, he was phenomenal in controlling the passing behind that line and between the midfield of Arsenal and the defense. And this is something that if this guy can add this to his game, he would be one of the biggest assets for England, not only on the right side, but also on the midfield. This was absolutely phenomenal today, him being narrow inside, not only on the sideline.
But this is what we say anyway about Trent. The thing is with Trent, people who watch Liverpool week in, week out will tell you, Trent is not, the reason he's the best right back on earth is not because of the crossing and the assists and the goals or whatever it is. Even if you push all the stats to the side, it's because of the other things he does on the football pitch. The way he links up play, when he picks up the pockets of space in midfield, when he interchanges with the strikers, when he you know, earlier on the season when our right hand side was Elliott, Mo and Trent, we were seeing a lot of this. But obviously now with the injuries, it's a little bit different, and with the players obviously going to AFCON, so we don't have Mo right now on the right wing, so it's just a totally different situation. But today Trent, he could have had 4 or 5 assists, like if the players could finish properly. That's number one. Number two, you see the problem is, I'm not saying Terry does this, but a lot of old people, when they speak to us about right backs, they will make it seem like And I'm old and I've seen these players. They make it seem like Cafu never got spun. Dani Alves never got spun. Maicon never got spun. Gary Neville never got spun. Every right back in history has gotten spun. You know why? Because wingers are better than fullbacks. That's why they've gotten spun. So let's not sit here and pretend that Trent's the only one who gets spun defensively once a game or whatever it is. Every right back has done that. He has had phenomenal defensive performances before. He has fully pocketed wingers before, and he's done it. He's pocketed Leroy Sané. He's pocketed some of the best wingers. Cristiano Ronaldo had to switch wings in a Champions League final because of how good Trent was. And today, at the end of the day, let's be real. He faced Martinelli, very tricky winger, very incredible young player. I'd sign him if it were up to me. And to be real, Martinelli went through him once in the first half, and that's about it. So 80 minutes, he was sublime against him. Martinelli couldn't get change out of him, but you know what? That one moment, we should just sit there and talk about it forever. Like, if you go back in history and watch every right back that ever played, Ivanovic, I don't care, whoever it is, every right back has gotten spun. Wingers are better than fullbacks, simple as. But today, what he offers going forward, and this is why Liverpool fans always argue this. People think it's a GA thing. It's not a GA thing. What he offers going forward is something that no other right back on earth, on God's green earth, can offer. Today, we just saw a half-volleyed left foot on his weak foot into the body of Diogo Jota for him to take. Who can do that with his weak foot as a right back? None of them. So this is why we say he is
I disagree. 100% Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
But even you can't take that seriously.
Very.
All I'm saying, just on what
Ram.
He talked about the only time he lost possession. The only time he lost possession, I think, is because he tackled Martinelli and then lost control of the ball, and then Martinelli ended up tackling him. So I think that's the only time he sort of let him go past him, I think. But on what you said, like, I remember I was watching a documentary on Cafu. People think Cafu was impenetrable. There was a time when Luis Felipe Scolari told him that he can't defend. And that was when he was like, I think 23, 22. This guy's got a lot of time. I've been saying this. When Trent gets older, his IQ will get higher. And when his IQ gets higher, he'll be a lot more defensively sound.
I think that's true. One of the things that Dom's HUSAM said, which I thought was interesting, is, do you know the best goal scorers in the world miss more than they score? If you look at the conversion rates of the Jimmy Greaves, the Gerd Mullers, the Ronaldos, the Messis, it ranges between 15 to 20%, which means they miss at the very least, they take 5 opportunities to score 1 goal. Do you know what I mean? At least 5. And in some cases, it's almost in every 10 opportunities, they're scoring 1.5. So they miss sitters. Every single top player has missed an open goal. Every centre-back. Tonight, like, Van Dijk got sent by Martinelli, but we're in this era now where that's like, I get it's like memeable and people put it out there, but it's quite normal. Does that make, like, some of the analysis I now see of players? I don't like Maguire at the moment in the Man United team. He's been awful. He should be dropped. But sometimes I see the analytics, I go, why is he doing this and doing that? I go onto Wisecout and look at, like, corners, Liverpool defending, and just to watch what Liverpool defenders do. And if you watch it, you're like, yeah, Van Dijk was doing that. He was behind his own man with his hand and his back, angling out for his his position within the zone. But it's almost, we kind of narrow it down, like, oh my God, my fullback got taken on, therefore he's rubbish. It's kind of normal. Like, there's no such thing. I was talking to a Man United fan the other day that goes, I want to play a game, but we don't let teams have opportunities against us. I'm like, bruv,
that's not football.
How fair it is to play a game of football where the other team don't have chances. It's a madness. Football fans are a bit weird nowadays. They're definitely weird now.
You know what?
Terry, if in 05 at halftime there was Twitter in the Istanbul final, you can imagine what Twitter would have been saying about Maldini and Nesta, but let's not go there anyway. But if social media existed back then, Maldini and Nesta bottled a 3-goal lead. It would have never happened.
I don't want to take anything from Alexander, but today Jurgen Klopp figured out, like, exactly what happened. Dude, Alexander Arnold, when the midfielders come at him, he talked. He communicated with his center back. We can see it on TV. We can see him pointing to the midfielder where to go to corner Martinelli and to go into slip, into cornering Martinelli to lose the ball. This is something else. Communication, which is what we have seen today.
You know what, Mo? I think he's spot on, but I think it's also because he actually got cover for once. His midfielders.
Yes,
Fabinho,
thank you so much.
Kai Gordon, and Kai Gordon especially, rarely came back and supported them and stopped it from being 7 one-on-ones a game.
Thank you
It
so
was,
much.
I think 2 one-on-ones and about 5 2-on-ones, which he's always going to win. But what we're seeing with Trent is something that I don't think people will truly appreciate for another couple of years. The man has 3 assists less than Messi in the past 4 years.
And Muller.
3 assists less than Messi.
Only Muller has more.
Muller's on a
That's
different
mad. I
planet.
didn't know that. That's mad.
3 assists less
But
than
Muller
Lionel
plays with the
Messi.
best player in the world.
This is a right back we're talking about. A right
Trent
back.
plays with the best player in the world. Trent.
Yeah, Salah's the best.
Yeah, but Trent doesn't assist Salah, though. He assists
By the way,
Mane.
just changing the subject, Matthew. Dom Husam, you obviously don't believe that Mo Salah is the best player in the world anymore, do you?
Terry, why?
Because he wasn't nominated into the World 11, and you said that personal awards are where it counts.
Listen,
I want to say to you, bro. I just want to say, because we've seen it happen in real time. Mo Salah not being in that team is why I discount all personal awards, because they're bullshit. They're absolute bullshit.
He finished third, though. He finished third in the best thing. He finished third.
That's bullshit, though, right?
No, he should be third. Why is that bullshit?
Should be second. No, second. Why third?
World. So therefore, for you, it's bullshit.
Nah, but not this season though. Because remember, last season we didn't win. It was different.
I'm just pulling your leg. I'm only pulling your leg. Zayn hasn't spoke much tonight, which is weird. What are you saying,
No.
Zayn? What are you saying?
I've been holding in. You know what, chat? I'm trying to take my time with it. Take my time with it, bro. Right? So I've got a lot of stuff to say. I've got some receipts, bro, especially since last week, where the energy, bro, the energy from this Arsenal fans. I'm not gonna lie. I was going to go in hard and just about her, look at our fans, we're the best fans, look how loud we are. But she looked kind of upset and actually been crying. So I thought, you know what, I can't do that to her. So I'll allow you this time, Jay. So we'll move on to the next brother. EGAL, bro. You were on your birthday, weren't you, in Dubai week, right? In Dubai, bro. Why are you spending time with your woman, bro? Don't come back on the thing to try and chat to me and try and rattle me, bro. Allow it, fam. Watch yourself, bro, because don't come crying to me in a year's time when your missus left you because you ain't handling your business, bro. You need to fix up, bro.
Bro, come on. That's too far. That's too far.
All right. Next one, Brandon. All right. What are you saying, Brandon, man? Do you remember this?
Brandon on the show next. Then we've got a great panel coming up. Kessie's joining us as well. What are you saying, bro?
Karma a bitch, Terry, eh? Karma.
Karma what? You what? Karma? What? Yeah. Receipts, bro. Don't ever try them things, bro. Because I hold that shit in there, bro. I keep it down. I'm like, you know what? Bring it, bro. Bring it. Because what happened today? You're kind of
Arteta,
no one cares, bro. No one cares. Your team's dead, bro. Stop talking about your Arteta nonsense or that. We don't care, man. Where was that energy? Was the same energy you had last week, bro? So don't even give me that. Another one for you, man, in the chat. Don Juan, where are you, brother? This man in the chat always typing up the nonsense. Don Juan, you're missing today, brother, in the chat. Where are you, bro? Call this Don Juan, brother, out. I want to hear his chats now. My man's been this. You're hiding, Don Juan. So all you man in the chat, call this brother out when he's back on the chat again, bro. He's been missing, bro. And finally, Robbie Singh, I was holding an L, bro. You say you super chatted. Our man's holding L. What are you saying now, bro? Where's your super chat to say, no, man's not holding L, bro? So relax yourself, bro. Because like I said, I know my team, bro. Finally, that's all I can Robbie Singh. It's like the best you can come out. Trust me, same energy, bro. When I was battling this Goon Express, funny how what's Gooner gone now? My man's gone missing. You can bet he was all on camera last week, bro. Yeah.
I will say about Gooner Express. Gooner Express messaged me earlier on today to say he can only come on briefly tonight. That was like afternoon time.
Okay. So let me talk about. This.
Let's speak football. Speak football, please.
All right, let me finish on Saka, ESR. They got pocketed, bro, right? All these big chat. We got generational talents, blah, blah, blah. What happened today, bro? They got pocketed. And Ramsdale, bro, I don't want to hear it anymore, bro. This guy's the next keeper, the one. He's the best, man. Forget it. Emi Martinez has been your best keeper, and you kept him as a sideman for bare years, bro. You don't know. Look at that goal today. Jot the first goal. I'm sorry. That was a P-roller, bro. Jot the shotter, bro. Right? But anyway, P-roller. And your man, Ramsdale, what did he do? And then I see all the commentary guys all trying to protect the guy. Oh no, he thought he's gonna kill it. Blah, blah. Shut up, bro. You lot were gassing the man up, and the man flopped today. Ramsdale, where are you, big man team? Where is this keeper that I've been hearing about? This? Oh my God, he should be playing for England, bro. Shut up, bro. I don't want to hear the noise from Arsenal now. I'm so glad we finished your trophy season, bro. You got nothing left now, bro. All you're going to go for is points. So you lot need to fix up now. Just move on and hide back in that corner where you come from, bro. Because trust me, you can't say nothing for the rest of this season, bro. Nothing at all, bro. And what I'm going to say finally is when it comes to Chelsea, we'll see what happens, bro. Because like I said, we're a cup team this season. I said we've got chances in the cup. It's getting there. So hopefully Salah will be back. My man Salah. Hopefully he'll come back.
When's the final? Which date is it?
February.
February 26th.
February 26th.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Right. I was going to ask that as a next question. To be fair, like in terms of winning it. Right now, as things stand, I'm going to go to Mo first on this. Who's winning the Carabao Cup?
If both teams have the first, every single player available, I think it's Liverpool have the better chance, to be honest.
Come on, Mo.
I know that, HUSAM, I know that you like to be like sometimes the underdog, so you won't get called out after the games. But if you have Salah and Mane and you have everybody available, you should be winning this. There is no excuse. Lukaku is in the mud, man. Like their front line is absolutely having a terrible time now. Maybe their defense is okay, but Liverpool's defense is better than Chelsea. So there is no excuse for Liverpool to lose this game if you have everybody available and healthy.
David's here. David's obviously a Chelsea fan. How you feeling about
in Portugal? Oh my God.
Dave, I've got a question. Dave,
are you Portuguese?
So hang on. Dave, I've got a question for you. So do you still think Diogo Jota doesn't have the capabilities of being world class?
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah?
I don't think scoring 2 goals against Arsenal makes you world class.
What, 2 clutch goals? 2 clutch goals?
I don't think so,
David,
I don't think he's world class.
What, you were insulting us over Werner, bro.
The premise behind the conversation,
I
I said last season, Diogo Jota has the capabilities of being a world-class player. And then Dave was like, he has no chance of being a world-class player. I want to hear what you want to say now, bro.
I don't think he's world-class. What? Is this really the best? This is the best question you had for me.
No, I'm still going to ask you. I'm still see if we're going to be deluded, bro.
No, I've got a question for you. You were gassing
all Chelsea fans are deluded. There's no need to even check that, bro.
David, you were gassing up last season, bro. Oh, we got Werner. He didn't want to come to you. Blah blah blah. We got a sick player. Oh, you got some side man from Wolves. And look at you now, bro. Jota has slapped up your Werner, bro. Your Werner is a fraud, and you were gassing him up saying, "Oh, look at him. He didn't want to come to Liverpool. We come to Chelsea." What are you saying about your boy Werner now? Because you are kind of dissing Jota, weren't you?
It's true. He didn't want to go to Liverpool. He went to Chelsea instead. He also
that's
was
a lie.
Absolutely crucial. That's not a lie. That's also absolutely crucial in Chelsea winning the Champions League. So yeah, I know he looks bad, and it's funny to say, Timo Werner's bad, but he's actually quite an effective player. So I don't mind.
Would you rather have Diogo Jota or Timo Werner and Lukaku, David? Would you rather have Diogo Jota today? Would you rather have Diogo Jota, Timo Werner, or Lukaku in your team?
I'd have Jota.
David finally stopped being delusional for one answer in his whole life.
Can you, David,
you last week after the 0-0 draw, you memed me. You were putting clips out there. You were putting the funny music.
I did.
Where's David? One second. Where's the funny? Where's the funny energy now, David? Tell the people, please.
That David Burner account isn't David.
That's not me.
It's someone.
Generally, it's not you.
Not
him. It's not him. It's actually not him.
Okay, fair enough. I thought that was you. Okay, fair enough. I thought that was you.
David, since you're here, can you please elaborate a little bit why you don't think Diogo Jota is going to be a top striker if he's second in the Golden Boot? He's scoring clutch goals. He's involved in most of the plays. Just explain. Give us a little bit of an insight.
The question was, do I think Diogo Jota is going to be world class? My answer is no. I think he'll be a very good striker, but there's a difference between very good and world class. I just don't think he'll be world class.
Well, you don't think he's going to be top 5?
No. And my definition isn't top 5 anyway.
Now, what is your definition then?
My definition is like it's mainly top three. Obviously, depending on if there are 4 world-class strikers, then it's like okay, I'll make an exception. It's mainly top 3, and you have to be doing it for at least minimum 3 seasons.
So if
in the Premier League or in the world, in the Premier League or in the world.
1 second. So what I would throw into that is kind of like a question back to Ram. Really, Lewandowski's a world-class striker. You think that's the level that Jota's going to reach? Because that's world class.
No. I think he's going to be. I think he can be a top 5 striker. I really think he can be on the same level as Michael Owen when he was at Liverpool in his pomp, because he plays like him.
Okay, but what I would say about that and calling it world class is strikers like Michael Owen don't really exist anymore. You need far more to your game to play in football. So when you're saying he's going to be world class, who right now who's a contemporary world class? Who are the world class strikers now that you think he's going to be as good as? That's what I'm more interested in. Lewandowski's a world class striker. Who else?
Lewandowski's a world class striker.
Haaland,
Benzema. Lukaku. To be fair, Lukaku last season was a world class striker because he was banging it in for Serie A. So I did say he was a top 5 striker. So
do you think again? That's the level he's got to get to. So you're talking 40, 50 goals a season, all comp.
No, but Terry's right. Terry's right. At the end of the day, it's going to be very difficult for Jota because
guys. I'm sorry. He's not. I think he's going to get 20 plus goals a season in about 2-3 seasons. He's going to be that guy who will get you 20 plus.
No, but more. That's not enough. That's not enough. At the end of the day,
that's what Harry Kane used to do, Husam. That's what Harry Kane used to do, and people call him world class.
No. That's not true. That's not true. Listen, with Diogo Jota, he's my player and I love him, but I think he needs to improve his overall build-up a lot for him to be even in that conversation, because overall build-up, let's be real, build-up play, getting included in the chance creation, etc., he isn't as good. However, he has loads of time to improve. He's still 25, if I'm not mistaken. He could become that, but right now there's a lot to improve on. Terry's right. Right now it's 2022. There is no longer just a target man striker that scores goals, that gets in behind. It's not how life works anymore. So he needs to bring so much more to do. He needs to bring so much more to his game now in order for him to be considered world class.
That's why I think he can improve to be a world class striker, because you saw he improved from last season. He has. Statistically, he's improved as
he has massively.
So
but he has a long way to go.
I cannot accept the fact that there's no chance, which David is saying, there is no chance of Diogo Jota being a world class.
Why are you taking David seriously?
Maybe guys, maybe it's a definition of a world class striker. Maybe it's a definition of world class, because to me, to be a great striker in the Premier League, 20 plus goals in all competition for one club over 3-4 seasons put you as a very, very good striker in this category. You don't have to be Lewandowski. You don't have to be Benzema and win 4 Champions League.
I don't know. I mean, maybe that's right. Do you know what it comes down to? I think David's point was bang on. You might find 9 different definitions of world class on this panel. Some say it's being one of the top 3 strikers. I think you could be the best striker in the world and not be world class, because there should be a bar to those standards, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? For the Olympics, it's like an Olympic qualifying time. You can qualify, but you can still come last at the Olympics. It doesn't make you a world-class athlete. Like, I think for me, like, you be the best. I think for me, it's about overall. For me, consistency is the biggest part. Everyone knows longevity for me is the key component to making it into any kind of conversation. And the way Jota's been so far this season, you're looking at it again, okay, there or thereabouts. If Jota adds, let's just say 15 goals to what he's doing by the end of from where he's at now, and does that for 3 or 4 years, and is as influential for Liverpool as someone like Mo Salah is, then I think that's where you start talking about him as being world class. KDB, the 4, 5, 6 years of delivering at that level makes him world class, in my opinion, and everything else. Look, I think Jota is brilliant. You know, I've had the pleasure of meeting him a good few times, and he's a lovely lad. He's at the right club to do it. He's got the right manager to do it. It's just about that step change to that next level. And that's at the very least, it'll be
Terry, can I ask a question to you and everybody? Guys, one question about that. Do you think because Mane and Salah are in the end of probably the end of the Liverpool career, that's what we're hearing, right?
No,
do you think Jota can be?
What are you talking about, bro?
Who told you? Who told you?
Can I just finish the question? Everybody comes here and they talk about they need to replace these players to get maybe in 2-3 years, right? Can Jota be the main man in 2-3 years in Liverpool?
No.
This is just a
I
question.
think he's going to be
No.
playing as a striker.
No, he cannot. No, he cannot.
Okay.
Jota is
I
not
just
a
wanted to
main
know
man.
that.
Jota is not a main man. That's number one. Number two, your premise is wrong because Mo Salah is staying. He's not going anywhere. So I think out of the front three, Mane and Firmino are going to be gone. But Mo is staying. Mo's going to be here probably for the next 3-4 years, I'd say. Even when he's 34, 35, he's probably going to do a Ronaldo and turn into a number 9, become a striker, I think, basically, because he still have that. He'll still have the technical ability. He'll still have the finishing in order for him to be a striker. So I think he will turn into that. Salah's staying, in my opinion. I think he will stay. But for me personally, Jota is not a main man. Jota is not someone who's going to be the main man that you basically put the hopes of a club on him. He's not that type of guy. Jota is a brilliant Robin to the Batman. He's not Batman himself. So, you know, he needs a Batman basically with him, because Jota is not that type of player. And this is where this links to previously what Terry said, and this is why I agreed with him. 2022, footballers now, in order for you to become world-class, even as a striker, winger, no matter what it is, you need to bring a lot to the table. Jota right now, heading ability, finishing, both feet good, dribbling needs to be better, passing needs to be really better, and link-up play is one thing he needs to improve on in order for us to include him in this conversation. Main man is a step too far. Let's remember, the reason Jota was bought was to be cover for Mane. So when we say world-class, you're just talking about a totally different thing. In our whole Liverpool team, I think there's 5 world-class players at best, and like I don't think Jota is one of them. For me personally, the world-class players are Alisson, Trent, Van Dijk, Mo Salah, obviously, and Fabinho. Those 5 I'd say are. Robertson's questionable, but we can put him in.
How is Robertson questionable?
Guys, calm down.
How is
you are missing the point? You're missing the point. Point is, not every player in this team is world class. Matip's not world class. Henderson's not world class. Curtis Jones is not world class. Mane is not world class. Firmino's not world class. So the world class is something that's like next level shit. So in order for Jota to be that, he needs to improve a lot.
I'm still just curious as to how Robertson doesn't fall into that criteria. He's had 3-4 years at the top
Put
level.
Robertson in there. Why, Tom? Why are you arguing about something that I'm not discussing? We'll discuss Robertson later. I'm saying, I'm saying in our
said that he's not world class.
It's the same.
Yeah,
point.
no,
It's the
I'm
same
saying
point
there's
the
a
same
debate.
point.
I'm saying there's a debate. That's what I'm saying.
It's the same point as why you.
My point
when
on
he
this.
said.
Sorry. Let Brandon go for a second. Sorry, don't wait for ages. Sorry, Tom.
Can I just add as well that it doesn't really matter so much about goals. It is about his overall play as a player. Because Aubameyang, for example, scored 20 plus goals a season for Arsenal for 3 years consistently running. Not a single person on this panel would say he's world class. Not even me. So it doesn't have anything to do with goals. It's more to do with his overall play. Like HUSAM was saying.
Brendan, you're telling me that he wasn't one of the best forwards in the world.
But he wasn't world class, man.
Not world class, but not world class.
World class.
Yeah,
World class.
Why do people throw the word around world class? Like people need to understand, world class players are a selective bunch of people who sit at a dinner table.
No,
world class does not every.
That's
no,
your
but
interpretation.
more. At the end of the day, yes, it is open for interpretation. But not every Tom, Dick, and Not every Tom, Dick, and Harry is a world class player. World class is upper echelon, sits on the top table players on earth. My personal definition, you can have different definitions, it's okay. My personal definition is top 3, top 4, maximum top 5 in your position on earth. The players I mentioned, in my opinion, are top 5 in their positions on earth. So Mo Salah is the top 5 winger, Fabinho is the top 5 DM, Van Dijk is the top 5 centre back, Trent is the top 5 right back, Alisson is the top 5 goalkeeper. And just so Tom and Ram don't start shouting, Robertson is the top 5 left back, so he's world class. Happy now, everyone? But when it comes to Jota, let me land. Fuck me. When it comes to Jota, yes, he scores goals, but exactly what the Arsenal fan just said. I apologize, I forgot your name. Exactly what he just said with Aubameyang. Using your definition, is Michu world class? The season he scored 26 goals. This is what I mean. There needs to be consistency. There needs to be. There needs to be consistently longevity doing it season in, season out. This is why,
Listen,
in my opinion,
But
this is why. 1 second. Just give me 10 seconds, and Terry will remove me. Well, and this is why, in my opinion, Mane is not world class. This has nothing to do with him. He's top class. He's a brilliant footballer. But Mane last season dropped off a cliff. So you cannot skip referring to him as world class. Same with Firmino. So when it comes to world class, people need to understand world class is you're putting Trent, Reece James, Cancelo, Hakimi at one table. The world class is not Tariq Lamptey, fucking Wan-Bissaka, whoever it is. World class is the Don Dada players of that position. That's world class.
You done?
I think
Just one thing. Aubameyang, when he was scoring goals left and right, he was top 5 strikers, and nobody can argue that. And that's why they signed him for 70 million. That's why he came to the Premier League up and running, 20 plus goals for 3 seasons. You can call that. Ronaldinho played 2-3 seasons great in his life, and people call Ronaldinho one of the best players in the history of the game. Hussam, what I want to say is that the world class is a game changer. If you're a game changer in one season, you are a world class in that season. Messi and Ronaldo changed that for everyone. Not everyone can have 4, 5, 6, 7 seasons with 50 plus goals. That doesn't happen often, and I don't think we're going to see this again in our lifetime. We're not going to see this. Mo Salah is someone that we are not going to see, and that's all I want to say. If you are a game changer in one season, you are a world class in that season. Pavel Nedved, when he won the best player in Europe, was world class that season.
Yeah,
this is what I want to say.
Disagree.
I hear that logic, and I've seen championship players play against Premier League teams and have world-class games where in one particular match, they just kill it. I remember watching Dan James when he was at Swansea tear a brilliant Man City side apart. Honestly, I remember watching him thinking, who's this kid? This was way before Man United were even linked with him. And on the day, one of the best wing performances I'd seen in years. It was out of this world. They lost because of actually an offside goal, to be fair, but he was amazing. But he leveled out. You can have a season where you're just... I'll give you a prime example of a Premier League striker that had a season like that in the 90s, Kevin Phillips. Kevin Phillips had a season where I think he scored like 30 plus goals. He was absolutely on fire. You call that a world-class season, but he never maintained it. And it was that lack of maintaining it, which is why he isn't world-class.
Thank you.
I don't go by eye test because the eye test is very deceiving and it's subjective. Yeah. It's, like who your favorite singer in the world is. My favorite singer might be Michael Jackson. Brandon's might be Peter Andre. Now, we're both going to argue who we like the most, right? Sorry, Brandon, I'm just throwing it out there, right? The point is, my guy wins because of the Grammys and the number ones and the records. It doesn't matter about personal opinion. For me, when it comes to these debates, there has to be barometers set, whether it's, and I get the point, longevity, individual awards, goals, and then your peak is very important, how good you were at your best, and then how long you maintain yourself at the highest level of the game. So it's a very hard conversation when you look at who's world-class, who can make it. Does Jota have the ability to become a world-class player? I think he does. It's whether or not he can actually get to that level, and then it's maintaining it. And I think a lot of maintaining it is the mental side. We've seen players like Kaka get to the top, be at the very best in the world for 2 or 3 years, but then after it fall off. Eden Hazard's a great example.
Injuries, man.
Eden Hazard, people can blame injuries all they want, but what are you doing when you're injured? I had this conversation with someone the other day. What are you doing when you are injured? Listen, R9 had some of the worst injuries you can imagine. Also in an era where the medicine wasn't as good as now. But in my opinion, was he keeping fit or was he sitting at home drinking beer? Like, I've got a feeling he weren't looking after himself. Wayne Rooney didn't go out of football with injuries, but he didn't look after himself. The point is, it isn't just injuries. That's the reason why he's not there. I think it's how you look after yourself, what you do is what all these things play a part. So when we talk about world class, I don't think it can just be scoring enough goals. It can't just be, man looks silky, because you can look silky and not deliver.
Like Hazard.
Again, you can be a game changer from defense. You can be a game changer from defense, and you can be a world class as well.
And Terry, that's the whole premise of this argument was, I told David, I think Diogo Jota has the capabilities of being a world class striker, and he came up to my face and said, "There is no chance, no chance."
But that's David's opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why I'm questioning. I'm questioning him again. Do you still stick with that opinion?
No, one example is like everyone calls Son world class. I don't think Son is world class. I don't think Diogo Jota is going to be as good a player as Heung-min Son is. That simple.
Fair
Do you
enough.
know
That's
what?
your opinion.
Do you know what? There's a lot of deficiency. Like with Jota, look at the reason why Salah is now world class is he's ticked off all the boxes that he was poor at. He was very selfish, poor at passing, poor at holding up and linking other people into the game. Over the past couple of years, he's maintained his goal scoring, improved all the other assets to become world class. Jota needs to do the same kind of thing. Like all the top players, even Lewandowski, you look at him, think he's a striker. The amount of times he lays people in, links up with people, he understands the game and reads and takes a hit for the team to take players away, so to bring someone to score the goal. You've got to be that all-round player for the team, for yourself, and go for those individual goals. And with Jota, there's a lot of deficiencies that he needs to work on. He's very selfish. A lot of times he will not pass to certain players. We've seen that facts. His control of the ball in tight situations is poor still. Now and again, he'll have a good dribble or whatever, but sometimes even his finishing is not consistent or crucial at a crucial moment. So there's a long way for this guy to go. He's 25. By 28, that's when you start saying that's when you'll be able to have that discussion and say, is he world class or not? Because he'll have the time with great quality players. Mo Salah's still going to be there for the next 3-4 years. And Mane's going to be gone, hopefully. That'd be good. So maybe Jota goes onto the left and maybe he's more effective because, let's be real, where do you guys think Jota's best position is? In the middle or on the left? Because he
left wing,
much better on the left, right? And who's holding his spot at the moment?
Mane.
Right?
I think
So we can agree that Mane's on the decline.
I think Klopp sees him as a striker.
Well, you may say that, but come on. You saw how effective
he
Jota was
doesn't
on the
see him
left
as a
today.
striker. I don't think he does.
Jota, what I think Jota will be, ironically, is very much where I think Werner was at his best when he was in Germany. I've said for years now, my mind's been changed on football. Your starting position is almost irrelevant. It's where you drift to and touch the ball and influence the game. And I think with the way Liverpool play, they're quite fluid up front. He might start centrally, but drift out to the left. The person that's on the left or right will then move into those central areas when you do it. And Jota, for me, today was at his best because he was in and around those channels. And I know he started there as an example, but when he's in those areas, that's when I find him best. When he's cutting in from outside, I just find him brilliant there. And look, if Liverpool get rid of Mane and bring in a top striker, say
Haaland.
Someone like Vlahovic would be amazing for Liverpool because he can ball. He's got ability. Someone like him with Jota one side and Salah the other, feeding off of him. I think could be dangerous. Absolutely. I would tell you who else would be good for Liverpool if he's fit. I know Liverpool fans don't like it, but Harry Kane would be amazing for you. Like he legitimately.
That's true.
Man,
stop it, man.
No, don't say
Terry,
that.
I would rather sign you on.
He can play football.
Like his dreams, Terry. His dreams. You're giving us dreams. It's never going to happen.
I know.
I hate him.
I know you.
I hate him.
I'll give it to
you hate him, but if he turned that, he could. He's a game-changing striker, and when he's happy, and he can play football.
Yeah,
so
Terry, he has the face of a loser, though. Like that's something that I don't want to bring.
But so did your football club for 30 years, and Klopp turned it round. So at the end of the day, barring one season with Rafa, do you know what I mean?
If Lewandowski was like,
you know what, with Jota on this,
Terry, you want to get me started so bad, but it's not working.
On this whole world class thing with Jota, I think he's better off up front. I think what Jota has at the minute as a player is stuff that you can't teach the players. His nous to be in the right place at the right time. I think, contrary to what's it, I think Jota's got a great touch. I think the way he controls the ball and always opens up his body to take the next touch so seamlessly, I think that's such an underrated quality. I think you search for ages for that in a player. I think the qualities Jota has are stuff you can't teach. I think he can be world class. I think he will be world class if we can keep Klopp for a bit longer than 2 years, and he's just allowed to get that tutelage because we know he can do it, and the qualities he has, the qualities he needs to develop is stuff that's easy to develop. Passing players can develop passing easy.
You said the most important thing there. It's Klopp staying or who replaces him, because that's still going to be. It's not a question mark of the player's ability. It's just a question mark of your club and your owners and everything else. You get the next appointment wrong, everybody's going to suffer. That's
should be Nagelsmann.
Nature. Well, whoever. mate, again, everyone might change their mind in a year,
Probably.
2 years time, because managers go in and out of fashion more than David Beckham's haircuts. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, if you went back 2 years ago and mentioned Graham Potter's name, everyone hated him 2 years ago or so when he replaced Houghton. Nobody would have wanted him. Now he's favourite of the month. Eddie Howe went from being the next guy, like in England, to nobody really wanting him anymore. And I can go back because I remember. Who else is old on this panel? Zane will remember this because he's old. There was a time when Martin O'Neill was going to take over one of the big boy clubs.
Yeah, he was the man. Yeah.
Owen Coyle.
Bolton Wanderers
was going to take over from Wenger, and Gooners were like, yeah, look at the way he plays ball. It's partly because I think they loaned young Jackie Wilshere to Bolton, and he was there at the time. Bolton played nice football under Owen Coyle.
With the Sturridge as well.
Owen Coyle is going to be this next guy, and so we don't know who we're going to fancy as managers in 2 or 3 years' time, because it will change. It will change. My club will be in the mud, though. I know that for sure. But listen,
facts.
Everybody that's come on tonight, David, Mo, Bran, Husam with the cigar, of course, Zane, Dylan, Tom, Ram, Jess, Egal, and Gooner Express all came on the show tonight. Everybody that's tuned in, a massive thank you to each and every single one of you. Smash that like button before you leave. Subscribe to the Football Terrace, and we'll see you all